Hey, everyone. Welcome to the first show of 420 in the OKC. It is April 19th, 2019. Very excited to be doing this show, especially since Oklahoma legalized last year. So, this is going to be technically the first year, I think, of us being legal 420 to celebrate tomorrow. Very excited. So, with that, I brought on an amazing guest speaker, Miss Ruth-Ellen Nabonne of Enchanté Edibles. It's some upscale edibles that she's created, and I'm not going to say all of that right now because I'm going to let her do her thing. So, Miss Ruth-Ellen, thank you for joining the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Most welcome. Well, let's just get into this because I'm so excited. As obviously, that's why you're here today, and I chose you. But Miss Ruth-Ellen, I would love it for you to share with our listeners today some information about baking with cannabis and its healing properties. So, with that being said, Miss Ruth, first of all, I want to know who you are. I want you to share with our listeners who you are. And when I say that, like, how did you even get into baking in the first place? And then why edibles? So let's start there.
Okay, well, how I got into baking, it was a childhood dream, basically. I started baking when I was 8 years old. Uh, I was home alone because, back then, parents left their children alone
Yes, they
at eight
did.
years old. And I pulled out one of my mom's cookbooks, and it was probably from the 1940s, about 3 inches thick. And I just started looking through it, and I decided I was going to make a cake, and I made a marble cake.
Shut
Um,
up.
yeah, I made a marble cake, which is like chocolate and vanilla swirl, and back then, even for that cookbook, that was like a really like fancy, recipe to make. So instead of going simple and doing just, a white cake or a chocolate cake, I did both, and it turned out really great. It tasted great. I did kind of over swirl it, so it kind of looked like milk chocolate and dark chocolate swirl. But
Mm.
for my first time, it really turned out good.
Now, is that
Um,
just your opinion, or did everybody else eat that cake?
oh, everyone in my family ate it. It was a good thing. And but from that point on, I always wanted to be a chef, and that's what I have worked my goal to be. And I went to culinary school at the Culinary Institute of America in
Okay.
Hyde Park, New York. I graduated there in 2002. So I do have a college degree in culinary arts. I have a very good resume. I'm extremely talented. I've done some wonderful things. I've been around the world. And I'm back in Oklahoma because, one, I have always wanted to do edibles in the cannabis industry. And now that it is legalized in Oklahoma, I've come back home to my home state, and I'm glad to be back. So that's basically as far as what has brought me back to Oklahoma and how I got started in the culinary field. And I was introduced to cannabis when I was 17. And, back then, no one was really worried about the medicinal purposes as far as, when you're a 17-year-old. But now that I'm 44, and through research, I've found out the benefits of cannabis and what CBD and THC can do uh, for people like myself and
Gotcha. Well,
many
before
other
you go
people.
into that, Miss Ruth Ellen,
Yeah.
let me stop you right there because we're gonna have tons of information to be giving to the listeners. But just to like right on top of what you were saying about, you're from Oklahoma, came back to hometown, and starting with this, I just think that's a beautiful thing because, it's up and coming now that more and more people are starting to get educated against the propaganda. And that's exactly what it is and
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Okay. And I'm not going to go on a tirade about it today. But I mean, I feel you a lot. And now I'm a transplant to Oklahoma, but I'm getting ready to claim y'all. All right, I really am. A lot of my friends and family from the West Coast and other places, you don't want to tease me that I'm here in Oklahoma. And I never would have thought I would be here, girl. But I must tell you all, I love it here. I actually do. Sunshine's beautiful. People are great. I describe Oklahomans as country island folk. And I can say that because I'm Islander. My mom's from Guam, and you guys carry that. Very loving, good people. But my point is, I myself was very shocked at the opportunities that are here in Oklahoma. And now knowing that even though you guys are very conservative here in Oklahoma, obviously, right after you guys legalized, I saw the dispensaries open up. So I think that was more on the down low, but it's obviously receptive here. So I'm very excited for the things that are becoming up here today. And I'm glad to have Miss Ruth-Ellen on today to share, you know, she's just starting out with her new company and to be a part of that and to share that with all of you here in Oklahoma and all around the world. Because Miss Ruth-Ellen, she's going to be out there, y'all.
Yes, for
right?
sure.
So I came from Seattle, you guys, and California. And in Seattle, of course, they were one of the first states to legalize. So I've been on both sides of the fence before and after. And this is very important and necessary besides the recreational part of it, even though I am okay with that as well. So, Miss Ruth-Ellen, we were getting into, you're starting to talk about about the benefits that you saw with cannabis, but even specifically with edibles. But why exactly did you want to go ahead with a route into helping in the cannabis world through edibles? I mean, obviously, because you can bake, but why is this important? Why do you think it's important to have edibles out as an option to make?
Well, it is very important for many different ailments out there. For me personally, I was diagnosed back in 2005 with bipolar disorder, and that was really a difficult diagnosis for me. Um, and of course, I went through many, many, many medications, pharmaceutical medications, and I ended up by taking Seroquel 250 milligrams, extended release capsules, um, on every day. It took me a while to get to that point where, okay, I have bipolar disorder. I have to take this medicine in order for me to function. Um, and I was on that drug for over 10 years. And throughout that 10 years, my whole time, I think, really, do I need this medication? You know, do I really need that to help me fall asleep at night? And I've just always felt that there's got to be an alternative. And that's when, you know, this past October, I decided to wean myself off of the Seroquel. One, I don't have insurance, and there are so many people out there that don't have health insurance and that can't afford pharmaceutical drugs. They don't have those types of medications available to them. So I definitely don't advise doing this, but I myself chose to wean myself off of it, and I did. And in the meantime, I started using cannabis as an alternative medication, and it has been a godsend for me. I'm healthier now than I've ever been. I'm happier now than I've ever been, and I've done it a natural, holistic way, and not through the pockets of the pharmaceutical companies.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
you know, and if they're not willing, well, they're not even willing to, and that's what I love about the cannabis industry, is they're willing to share what a beautiful plant this is, and to actually help people. And it's a plant, it's a natural product. So I'm just happy about this opportunity that Oklahoma has finally given the people that really can benefit from it. So,
Amen. High five. Go Oklahoma. And just the rest of the world. I will say, you guys, I'm so proud of you that you guys were not the last state, because I swear I did not believe you guys were going to do it. And when it happened, I know we were all in shock. And I was like, yay.
yeah, me.
That was
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. My girlfriend and I, she's from Texas, and we always said Texas and Oklahoma would be the last states to legalize it. And my actual plans were to actually go to Colorado and open an edibles bakery there. But my home state, so it was a surprise. It was a blessing, is what it was.
Yes, I'm telling you, girl, because me too. That would have made me leave Oklahoma because of that. I don't need to feel like a criminal because it's not a crime to. I believe everybody should have the right to choose their medicine, and I wholeheartedly believe this because I came from a traditional healthcare, working in a hospital for 8 years, and seeing that our paradigm, our current model of healthcare is not that, you guys. I don't know when everybody will get this in their head, but it's the business of sick care. I'm not saying that you can't make money of helping people be well, but you don't need to make obscene amounts of money. And this is how it goes, you guys. If you don't get it yet, I'm speaking real talk right now today with you guys, with Miss Ruth-Ellen. And if you can't tell yet, we're super passionate about this. And we've seen, obviously, again, big pharma has their hands in it. And I just want to throw this into you guys right now while we're speaking on it. You're going to see a lot of products coming out through the market everywhere. Got to be very careful on what you guys pick. One, because even if it is real stuff, a lot of times you got to read ingredients, just like on a regular thing that you buy. If it ain't the first ingredient or the first three, and it's somewhere in the bottom, it's being filled with the other stuff. Even if it is natural, you want your main ingredient to be, this stuff. And the other thing I wanted to say is, now that it's being open and acknowledged, and obviously they know the public is accepting of cannabis in its forms, big pharma is now sticking their tentacles, have been, into this industry. And hey, that's fine. Well, we can't stop them with that. That's fine. But pay attention, because they are altering some stuff, the strains, and there's synthetic stuff out there. People going crazy off of stuff if you haven't seen some YouTube videos. So I want people that already have this stigma about cannabis as being bad. I mean, nothing against the DARE program, but let me tell you, my son, for the longest, thought I was like this bad drug user because of it. And wasn't ever the gateway drug, is what I wanted to say. So that's my little two piece, Miss Ruth-Ellen. And y'all, thanks for listening on that. Just be careful what's out there. Don't and just be open-minded, because there's always been a lot of propaganda, and there will continue to be so. So you have to educate yourself, and that means doing your own research as well. You were talking about the whole bipolar, and a lot of people struggle with depression and anxiety. And there's a big mental health epidemic going on in America and probably all over the world, a lot of suicide rates. Also, you have a big drug epidemic in America.
Yes, well, just in Oklahoma.
Yes,
heroin, methamphetamines. It's horrible in Oklahoma. I actually just lost a classmate this last week who struggled with severe drug addiction, and she also had cancer as well, and she's my age. So the cannabis definitely is not a gateway drug, and it definitely can help those who struggle with drug addiction, whether it be alcoholism, whether or not they're addicted to heroin or meth. Marijuana can help those people come off of those drugs.
I agree. I wanted to add to that, Miss Ruth-Ellen, and the reason why I say that is I just found that interesting, because I had never known what it is like to get off prescription meds or anything, but I recently met somebody who was interested in getting a consultation about CBD and cannabis, and I have been an advocate forever about medical marijuana in all its forms, and recreational too. But the point is, they came for that information, and he was retired from the military and was trying to get off these antidepressants, and initially he tried to do it without anything. And I didn't understand that coming off of things like that can be very taxing on your body, the withdrawal symptoms, very hard. And so he came to me because he had already tried that route, and he had to go back to his meds because it was too horrible. And so he started to utilize cannabis, and that has helped him. The last time I spoke with him, he had weaned himself down. I think it was to like the half of a pill type of thing. I haven't followed up yet from there. So that was big. And then like you doing the edibles, and I can already vouch for Miss Ruth-Ellen's trying sampling of her edibles, is my ex, Dustin. He has this lung condition and an infection that was really bad. And he would utilize cannabis smoking prior. In fact, he has the show, The Oklahomans, you guys, so just set heads up for that. And anyways, this lung condition has caused a strain on his heart where it's only working at 30% capacity. And he has to have a surgery to fix this. But in order to do it, his heart has to heal. So with that being said, he cannot smoke cannabis, even though he needs it because he was underweight. It helps him with his eating, nausea, all this stuff. But he couldn't do that. So I want to just vouch right now, one example of how Miss Ruth-Ellen's product, I thank you, Miss Ruth, for letting him try it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I don't want to cry right now. Like, he's my ex, but I care about people and when they're sick and stuff and they need the stuff. So anyhow, Miss Ruth-Ellen's product, Dustin tried this. And mind you, I brought it over to him and I said, Miss Ruth-Ellen said, take half first and, you know, see from there. And Dustin was like, I'm a champion. I don't know to do that. And he tried it. He ate the whole thing. He didn't notice anything for till probably about 45 minutes. But let me tell you, first of all, his coughing fit stopped, Miss Ruth-Ellen.
No.
And he could just be himself for like, and first of all, slept very well. I mean, it's just so many things that I noticed immediately once it took effect. And then just the quality of it. I went ahead and tried one of your brownies. I think it had like walnuts in it. Which one was that one?
Yeah. That's a chocolate walnut espresso brownie.
Ooh, very good. See, Seattle Lights, look at that. She threw in some espresso for us. What I wanted to say about that was that, oh my gosh. Well, first of all, when I opened her package, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, it looks so good. And in a little bit, Miss Ruth-Ellen's going to show, she brought a couple samples for y'all to take a look at. And I get spoiled. I'm going to try one of ones I haven't tried for you guys. But anyway, so it just, you can tell, you open it up and you see it and it's like, it's not hardened. It was like it looked moist. It just looked yummy. And so I'm like, okay. So I ate part of it. And I'm telling you, even if she didn't I would buy it even without it. Like Miss Ruth-Ellen might even end up making ones without it. But I'm telling you, it was just so scrumptiously yummy. Oh, goodness. And so the fact that it has even the good stuff in there, God's plant, that's like, you can't go wrong. Now, and so far, what I'm hearing, you guys, is here and at least in the Oklahoma dispensaries, there ain't nothing like Miss Ruth-Ellen's product, Enchanté Edibles, out there. Not at all. So I'm telling you, any of you dispensaries hearing this show today, you get a hold of Miss Ruth-Ellen. And if you don't remember it on this, I'll get a hold of me and I'll get you to her. But I just want to say thank you, dear, because you are making a difference already. You already touched 2 lives already, and I don't know who else you've been letting sample out, but we thank you, Miss Ruth-Ellen.
Well, thank you. Very much so.
So now that I'm over my little almost crying fit, I wanted to ask you, first of all, is it really like, okay, obviously we are wanting, people are wanting to not everybody wants to bake themselves and want to go out and just buy their product. But like, what's your process like having to go through making all of this stuff? And what is the magic ingredient in your edibles? Because I know nothing about canna butter.
Oh, well, the real true ingredient behind all of my products is passion and love.
Ooh, okay.
And that right there sets me apart. I'm not just someone that went out and wants to make a big buck and is pulling recipes off of the internet and saying, hey, I want to make some edibles. No, I am a classically trained chef that knows and was trained in molecular science and molecular gastronomy and took science classes in college that dealt with culinary. And I believe that my product, when you taste and even when you visually see my products, you already know that it is you're getting every bang for the buck that you're putting in.
That's real. Mm-hmm.
Because I am not putting anything out under my business name that I would not eat or enjoy myself. I see a lot of gummies. I see, but there are people with stage 3 cancer and stage 2 cancer. You think they want to eat gummies? No. To me, in my personal opinion, the gummies and things like that, those are for more your recreational users. That's just my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. But my product is for those who are going through stage 2 and stage 3 cancer, who can't, consume a lot of food because of the nausea. My brownies, like my espresso brownies, I use like 6 extra large eggs in my brownie recipe. That is extremely high protein. Plus, I put 3 cups of walnuts in my brownies, and you get extra protein from my walnuts, which that protein slows down the absorption of the cannabis into your system. It lasts longer. It's a better product. It gives you it gives you more of a calming effect, especially for those who suffer from situations like if they have anxiety or epilepsy. So it has that calming effect, and it stays with you longer rather than if you were to smoke it. Mm-hmm. I honestly believe cannabis is meant to be ingested. Yes, you can smoke it, but from the beginning of time, it was a plant-based food that they ate. So
I love that. Oh my gosh.
I think that's exactly how it should be consumed.
Okay, and you know what? I'm not going to argue with that at all. I love that idea. Obviously, I enjoy smoking it as well. And I do like, obviously, eating it. And I love that, about plant-based. You just said plant-based. And I'm excited to say about that because I'm not a full-on vegan, vegetarian, but I definitely know the benefits of eating more plant-based. And cannabis is just that. So how can I not, promote it? Hello. And so I'm excited to involve cannabis in, heads up, my future in the works plant-based food businesses. We've got Welly Bellies, which is going to be rivaling McDeath's. I don't need to say anything more about McDeath's, but y'all know who I'm talking about, McDeath's. And we've also got So Fresh and So Cream coming up, and that's going to be made out of non-dairy milk. We got coconut milk and hemp milk. And who knows, maybe Miss Ruth-Ellen will have some time and we can make some stuff for that down the road. We're just doing what we're doing now. So Miss Ruth-Ellen, let's talk about, well, first of all, why not? Why don't we just pull it out now? We're halfway through the show. Why don't you go ahead and show the listeners, the audience, some of your products right now, what you got with you?
Okay, well, once again, my business is Enchanté Edibles. We're super excited. We're working on the packaging of our product because we have been out to many of the dispensaries, and we find that the packaging and the labeling, we do have to go through regulations that for the packaging, but we have some great ideas that I can't really say that will differentiate our packaging from the rest of the edibles. That will set, not only will our edibles as far as flavor and the abilities, the healing abilities that it has, but it's the quality as well. And so when you see our packaging, you're going to know that that's Enchanté Edibles.
Can you tell them a little bit about your logo design? Because I've already kind of hinted out to the world on LinkedIn and Facebook, and you did on Instagram, I think. Either which way, yes. The starts of your stuff. And so anybody be copying, I want to make sure you say a little bit about that, dear.
Okay, well, Enchanté's Edibles, we're basically, our logo is a beautiful butterfly with a waxed emblem, molded emblem of an E for Enchanté. Also, for those who don't know, Enchanté is French for nice to meet you. Just to throw that out there. It's not enchanted. I know we're in Oklahoma and I love my Oklahomans. Don't get me wrong, but it's not enchanted or edibles. It's Enchanté, which means nice to meet you in French. But anyway, so look for butterflies on our packaging. With it's a deep purple with a beautiful wax gold emblem of an E, and we have some other special surprises for our packaging that, like I say, I can't put out there right now, but you will definitely know our product over the others out there for sure.
Oh my goodness, girl, I didn't even know that that's what that meant about that whole nice to meet you. You know what? That's like such beautiful karma energy on your packaging already. Like, it makes me think of, like, you know, when people say adios, goodbye, but that really means go with God. And here you are on your packaging before you even met your customers. And nice to meet you. Like, I don't know who's not feeling that. Can you see my goosebumps yet? Like,
actually, I got goosebumps too, girl.
Oh, that's so cool, dear. Okay, let me stay still, you guys. As you can tell, I do massage as well, and I move and talk with my hands. So let me stay still. Okay, so here's another thing I want to do. Oh, shout out really quickly, because I think it's very cool. Our very first show today, and Miss Ruth-Ellen being on, I feel honored. I want to just give a shout out real quick to Shane Duell, the founder of u.s.weedchannel. He actually has a big event going on as we speak, or later on today, over in Las Vegas, called Random Acts of Concert. It's a benefit they put on for, I believe, something called Signs for the Times. And so you just got to check out u.s.weedchannel.com. There are basically, you know, the television network of the cannabis industry, and they're all about putting content like this on Miss Ruth-Ellen's information out there, because they're all about educating the public. And just to let everybody know who Shane Duell is, he was one of the first people in California to win a case against the federal government with cannabis. So he is definitely a weed warrior. All right. And with that being said, you guys see me right here with the flag. I'm going to tell you what, tomorrow, 420, let Weed'em ring. Exactly. So just want to shout out with that. But the other thing I'm trying to think, dear, is you talking about upscale edibles, you know, and I like that. Everybody wants to feel like they got top of the line, like, you know, they want Starbucks and not 7-Eleven. But I'm saying, what makes you say this, dear, about why do you say that your stuff is upscale and above the rest and different than others, besides what you've already said? Why do they want to pick your stuff, dear? Why?
I use high quality ingredients. I use real butter. I use real vanilla beans in my product, or vanilla paste. I don't use imitation flavors.
So no GMOs or nothing, right?
No, I use high quality chocolate, either Ghirardelli or Valrhona. It's just, you'll just have to see it and taste it. And once you compare, you'll know. And that's the thing. That's why I'm putting my name out there, putting my product out there, why I'm letting people sample, because it is not like your normal edibles out there. These edibles you will find in California, you will find in Seattle. You know, you're not finding these edibles here in Oklahoma yet. And Oklahoma deserves high quality edibles, not just candy. It's not about, you know, it's about health and awareness. And I'm not just throwing, you know, those gummy candies and things like that. They're filled with corn syrup and gelatin.
Think about people that are diabetic.
Exactly. You know, and I'm also looking into doing gluten-free edibles as well, you know, because I know that there are people out there that suffer from celiac disease and they cannot eat gluten. And so I will be testing in the near future gluten-free products as well.
I love that, because I don't have that issue, but I have cut out that kind of stuff out of my diet because I know it makes my belly bigger and inflames me. So, you know, that's my reasoning. So I love that idea. I also wanted to put a mention out to y'all. If you guys are here in Oklahoma and are going to the Chronic Palooza tomorrow, me and Miss Ruth-Ellen will be out and about that day. And if you catch her, find her, because she might be sharing you guys a little bit of samples to try out her stuff. You never know. So come and find us. We'll be out there. And if I catch you guys, I'm going to do some live videos of what you got to say, okay? So, my dear, like, I want to know about I can tell you're passionate about your baking, but like when you're in there, and you're right now researching your kitchen, right? Where you're going to do your stuff. I'm so excited for that.
I am too. We found a great establishment where we will be leasing out a kitchen that is actually specifically made for making edibles. And I can't wait to partner up with them and get my product out to the dispensaries. We are working on contracts for the dispensary. So any dispensary that is out interested in selling Enchanté edible products, they can contact me, and I will put them on my ever-growing list of dispensaries that will already be selling my product to those who have their medical cards. So yeah, they can just contact me. I do have an Instagram. It's Enchanté Edibles, and they can feel free to either message me or just contact me through Enchanté Edibles, and I can get them hooked up with this awesome product.
That is great. And what I also wanted to tell the audience is, even if you're not in Oklahoma, you can get a hold of her, and she's willing to do like a 15-minute free consultation of, why edibles might be the choice for you, and maybe what kind or whatnot, because she also has a decent background on different strains that might work or not. And I just wanted to again point out, we are not doctors. This is all from personal experience. And so definitely go and talk to your regular physician if you have one before you start any kind of anything. So we're not endorsing don't listen to the current medical system. Mm-hmm. We're just sharing our knowledge, and you can take what you want with that. And I think that's always the best thing.
Exactly. And I'm not against big pharma at all. I do want to put that out there. I just think that cannabis needs to be given the chance to be able to work side by side with big pharma, because I think that pharmaceutical medicines are needed, but I think it can work together to help each other. As far as I think that people do need certain medications that they need to take, but they also need to make sure that they're consulting with their physician, that there aren't going to be any side effects with, using cannabis and doing your, certain pharmaceutical drugs.
Well,
so that is important. Okay. And I do want people to know that.
Yes. And I want to just add to that some more, just because with Miss Ruth-Ellen saying that, it is very important to any of you healthcare practitioners hearing and seeing this video today, that you guys are educated on the benefits of cannabis, because I know, at least what I've heard through other MDs and stuff like that, that you don't even get much education in nutrition. So what's that to say about cannabis? In fact, I did a show maybe 2 years ago. I'll tag it at the end of this show with a link. But there was a medical conference on cannabis that my guest speaker did, where they presented information specifically for healthcare practitioners to understand the benefits of cannabis, because there's so many misleading, they don't know. And honestly, if you go to your if maybe you have a doctor that doesn't know anything, they're going to have a bias, or they just don't know, and they turn you away from it because they don't know. And that's, not giving the highest level of patient care. And some of it is not just because of bias, it's just they didn't know. So I'm just saying, we have to, like Miss Ruth-Ellen said, everybody has to come together. And if that's what we're really about, if we want to heal our nation, we got to come together, stop fighting. We're sick. The world is sick, but there's love here too. And so that's what we need to pull out. And one of the things that I'm about is supporting the new paradigm that I would like to be a part of and create, is ones that have heart. So like Miss Ruth-Ellen today, I don't know if you guys can tell, but she has a lot of heart. Right now, Miss Ruth-Ellen is sitting in my living room while I'm in my bedroom, so you guys don't hear no back noise. but I'm around Miss Ruth-Ellen's energy. Oh, do you see Oreo? Miss
Yeah, little kitty.
Like, move, Oreo, move. Anyhow, so I'm just saying, Miss Ruth-Ellen's energy matches mine, if not surpasses at times. And I can vouch myself for her love and her product, at least the ones I've tried. And speaking of which, as we continue on, wow, Miss Ruth-Ellen, we only got 10 more minutes, woman. We got to get what we want to say. There she goes. She's pulling out some of her product. Let's see what she's got.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, guys. So this here, I have a chocolate oatmeal peanut butter cookie.
Ooh.
Okay. And I don't know if you can see these little bad boys.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yes. This little magic buddy right here is delicious. And if you look at them and you compare them to any of your other cookies that you see at an edibles shop, these look, well, they don't look, they are homemade. And this, I mean, you don't see cookies like this. The cookies that you're seeing in the edible shops look very manufactured.
Ew.
And the ingredients on them, you know, I use real sugar, real cane sugar, molasses.
Can you break a little bit apart?
Butter.
So kind of see the inside of it. Can you break it a little bit?
Hold on just a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so like, see, it's loaded with chocolate chips and oatmeal. And I like this too because I add the oatmeal because the oatmeal adds fiber, which also slows down the process of the cannabis into your system, this THC and the CBD into your system. So I'm always looking for ways to make my product better. Like for instance, on my lemon butter cookies, it has a lemon glaze. Well, in that glaze, I also use my wonderful canna butter to actually make the glaze. So you're not only just getting, you know, the medicinal benefits in the cookie itself, but you're also getting it in the icing. And the same thing with my whoopie pies. When I make my Italian buttercream for my whoopie pies, I use half real butter and then half the real canna butter that I make. Yeah. So
I've seen the pictures on them. They look delicious. I just want to.
Yeah. Oh, and then also, let me see if I can't get this.
Is it the brownie? One of the
brownies? This is the brownie. Hold on just a second. I should have already had these open.
What's funny is right now you have your camera up to my ceiling and they're seeing something on the wall there. Anyways, what that is, you guys, is my shiatsu massage bars. Oh, there's her brownie. All right.
Yes. Okay. So I don't know if you can see very well, but this is a brownie and they're about an inch thick. Okay. Here, see that big old chunk of walnut right there?
Yes, I do.
Some walnuts in my brownies. And they're about an inch thick. And this is one brownie. And, you know, I always advise anyone that samples my product to start either with a half or a quarter, wait 45 minutes, go from there. I do think that people are a little impatient when it comes to edibles and they don't give it enough time and then they accidentally consume too much.
Yes.
So it is definitely in their best interest, especially if they're not used to or have never used an edible before, that they start with the smallest amount possible.
I will second that motion. I will second that motion because, yeah, don't you guys look at that? Oh my God, I haven't had breakfast.
I want to eat it, but I know I can't. So
okay. Well, I want to tell the audience what do I got here, dear? I got something here. What is this here?
That's the chocolate oatmeal peanut butter cookie.
Okay, is that the one you showed already?
Yes.
Okay, you guys, can you see over here? I'm gonna try to stay still. See that? Ooh, I'm gonna put it right in there. Look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a bite for y'all and see how I'll tell you what I think about this.
Yeah. And she's never had this cookie before, so I'd love to hear her real, true personal opinion.
My real talk. I can't believe I'm eating on the air like this.
Oh, I just took a bite of the piece I broke off.
I can definitely taste. You can taste the cannabis in here. What strain did you use in this one, dear? By the way.
This was Bruce Banner #3.
Oh, Bruce Banner.
Sativa.
What? Okay. Oh my gosh. Let me tell y'all really quickly about Bruce Banner #3. You guys seen the Hulk, right? I mean, what better way can we celebrate 420? I mean, the greenest man on the planet, the Hulk, Bruce Banner. And I want to tell you guys, if you don't know about the Bruce Banner strain, it is like supposedly #3 out of the top 5 of the best cannabis strains out there, is what they say, because it heals in so many ways. Later on, I'll tag some stuff. I mean, it's got the medicinal benefits. It's also got the other benefits besides medicinal, but all the way around, a really great strain for physical pain, like anxiety stuff. I mean, so the fact that Miss Ruth-Ellen is putting that in her thing, they're getting stuff in so many ways. Oh my gosh. Okay. You want real talk, y'all? Right now, real talk. Okay, I told you already. I had a brownie. I told you it was so delicious. I mean, oh my gosh. In fact, my ex Dustin had bought some stuff from Ruth to have and to make it through, and I couldn't help it, but I took a half of one and another one of his parts. It was so yummy, just the taste of it alone. And so with this, like I said, I can totally taste it in there, but you can also taste all the other ingredients, and it just feels wholesome and yummy, and it doesn't taste fake. And you know what I mean? Like, for example, I like to eat healthy, and not feel bad about eating something, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So for example, when I'm at Sprouts and I get one of their chip products, their alternative chip products, I actually know that even though I'm eating a snack, I'm getting good stuff in my body. And what I'm trying to say about even eating this cookie right now, and I want to eat more, but I'm talking, so I can taste, I don't feel like, oh, I just ate a bunch of calories and it's bad. I actually know this tastes delicious and bomb. I feel like I'm having some dessert, but I also know I'm feeding my body. And here's another thing, you guys, you're not just feeding your body when you take in the cannabis plants. When your body feels better and you're happy and you're healing your emotions, you're also healing your soul and your mind. And let me tell you, if you guys don't know, one of the biggest problems in America is we are very stressed. So to not be stressed is a therapy in itself. So straight up wellness, straight up yumminess. I'm going to stop talking right now because I want to continue to enjoy this cookie here. And I want to see, I have a few more questions I know for sure to ask Miss Ruth right now, you guys. And literally, we only got 3 more minutes of time to be asking Miss Ruth some stuff. So let me just see anything else you may want to do, dear. But I guess really my last questions for you, my dear, is to ask you, what would be your last thoughts, your last impression that you want to leave with the audience today about baking with cannabis, and just cannabis in general, and why they would pick you? Whatever you would like to say, my dear.
Well, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this podcast. Michaela, I want to thank you for having me on. I'm super excited about the future of cannabis in Oklahoma, the future of Enchanté Edibles, and what the knowledge that we can bring to Oklahoma, and the good that we can do with it. I believe that my business will be successful, and my goal is to reach out and do not only within the cannabis business, but to make a difference in Oklahoma and in the world. So, our business isn't just going to be about edibles. We're going to get involved in the community and make the community aware of cannabis, because it's still, even though it's legalized here medicinally in Oklahoma, it still has a taboo vibe to it. It's not as bad as it was. So I want to be able to educate the public of Oklahoma. So that is really important to me. And just to give a product that is full of love and that can help people. And it's helped me so much. I am totally a different person from when I was on Seroquel. And you don't always need pharmaceutical medicines. And sometimes you can use both. And like I said, I think it's about finding a happy medium and
Amen.
what's best for you and your health. And that's our choice, and that should be our decisions, so.
I'm going to say amen, however you want to say that, okay? I just really want to really close out today's show with sending all of you on this planet, on this ride together with us. I wish you love and light, and to just continue on and to be well and take accountability for your health. Let me say that, because what I've learned in being in healthcare for over 20 years in some form, I was in traditional healthcare in a hospital for like 8 years. And then that's when I started my massage practice. And it was the #1 wellness center outside Seattle for 8 years. And here I am back in it again in Oklahoma. Speaking of which, if you ever want a massage, come check out Spascapes Delivered in Edmond. Totally take care of y'all. And doing my thing here too. But what I wanted to say is you're going to pay for your health no matter what. So with that being said, do you want to be reactive or proactive? I personally want to choose where my money's going. And let me tell you, I was in the hospital. You get sick, you can very easily get bankrupt. In fact, most of Americans' debt is medical bills. Take a look, Google it if you don't believe me. And so that's why this is I'm also very passionate about this and supporting businesses, people like this. And I want to applaud you, Miss Ruth-Ellen, just for stepping up to the plate and doing it. I know you're just beginning out again, but I believe in you too. And what I want to say is there's a lot of dreamers out there. There's a lot of talkers, and that's cool. But what I'm saying is, in order, obviously, to see the change and be the change we want to be in this world, you got to combine it together. Take those dreams and actively activate them. And what it takes, you guys, is just stepping that foot out, one foot in front of the other, and don't get discouraged and knocked down, because that's what the winners do. They keep going, and they don't take failures as failures, just as a part of the ride, the journey. And that's where we're on, you guys. This is the journey. So live, laugh, love, enjoy. And I'm telling you, Miss Ruth-Ellen of Enchanté Edibles definitely will help you enjoy the ride and to be well.
Thank
you. So welcome, dear. And guess what? Okay, you guys, this might be a little bit blurry here at the end, but I want Miss Ruth, come on over. I want you to come over here, and we're gonna just let Weedham ring here and say our goodbyes. So I would like that. Yeah, come on over here. All right, you guys, be patient. She's walking through, getting over here. And I'm not trying to smash my cookie because I still want to eat the rest of this. All right, you guys. We're going to get Miss Ellen over here tonight. Get up on here. All right, you guys. Ready? One, two, three. Let Weedham ring. Happy 420 tomorrow. You guys take care. We love you. Bye.